Welcome to Z Multimedia Online. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials on TikTok at Z Multimedia, LinkedIn at Z Multimedia, YouTube, ZTV, IG, X, and Facebook at ZFMGH. Do enjoy this video.
Who is remembered and who is trusted. But here's a challenge many SMEs actually face. Advertising feels expensive. Billboard, television, big campaigns, all of it looks out of reach for many entrepreneurs, especially those in the SME space. And so the question becomes, how do small businesses compete in a world where attention is very expensive? And this morning we are unpacking exactly that. We are asking whether SMEs really need big budgets to grow, or whether creativity, consistency, and smarter use of digital platforms might be the real game changes. And our conversation is titled Advertising on a Budget: How SMEs Can Grow Without Huge Marketing Spending. And I've been joined over the phone lines by Professor Stephen Bremer. He is an associate professor of marketing at the University of Ghana Business School, and it's going to help us break this down in a practical, very honest, no jargon, just real strategies for real businesses. Prof, good morning. You're welcome to the Business Breakfast on Z.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you this morning. All right. So I hope you're well, sir.
I'm doing very well in a rainy morning. I hope you guys are doing well too.
Yes, by God's grace. Thanks so much for making time to have this conversation with us this morning. Prof, let's start from here. When we talk about advertising today, what are we really talking about, and what does it mean for SMEs in Ghana?
Thank you. I think let's look at it a bit more broadly. So instead of just looking at advertising on a budget, can we rather say promoting your products on a budget? So advertising is just one of the ways by which firms, SMEs, big businesses, or even individuals make their products, their services known to their targets. So coming from that space, now we can begin to talk about advertising as one of the major ways to reach your targeted audience or targeted market. Yeah, so advertising is very critical because it is one of the major ways that businesses promote themselves. It has a far reach. Take, for example, radio. Anybody, anywhere can listen to you. Take TV. Anybody, anywhere can see, can hear, but it's expensive. So that's my initial comments.
But Prof, is advertising still viewed too narrowly as just like the things you mentioned, TV, radio, and billboards?
Yes, so advertising is actually just one means of promotion. And normally, when I say promotion, I mean the business communicating its products and its goods and services to the market. So we tend to use advertising as a stand-in for a series of tools we use to communicate. So that's how we normally say advertising. But in actual fact, advertising refers to a particular form of communication. So normally the general understanding out on the street is like, when you say advertising, it means that anything at all you do that puts yourself out there for your targeted audience to hear is advertising. But that's not really advertising. That is a very narrow usage of advertising. Advertising refers to a particular form of communicating your products and services to the market.
I see. Right. Now let's come to the meat of our conversation. Of course, still trying to understand exactly what it is. Many small businesses say that we don't have money for marketing and all of that. Do SMEs truly have a budget problem, or more of a strategy problem from where you sit?
I think they have both. So let me explain from the budget area. I noted earlier that it is expensive to advertise. In the real sense of advertisement, going on radio, going on television, billboards, as you call it, newspaper, magazine, it's expensive. But it has a big reach, and so it's very good in using it to try to get people to understand your products, especially if they're even new or you're new on the market. So SMEs will want to use this, but because it's expensive, then we can argue that they have a budget problem here. But they also have a strategy problem because it is not the only way to reach the market. There are other ways that you can effectively reach the market without going through this expensive route of paying thousands of cities to advertising agencies and mediums, which you may not even have. So it's both budget and strategy. If they have the right strategy, they can see effectively reach their markets without necessarily going through advertising.
Right. So are you saying that a business can grow significantly even with a small marketing budget? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. And that happens to be the reality of a lot of SMEs in Ghana. I mean, your operating capital is small on a very small budget. So how much do you have to spend as working capital, and how much do you have to spend in promoting your product? So it becomes a competition. So then promotion then suffers because you don't have enough money to cover that. And so you produce, you have your goods, you have your services, but people don't even know about you. And then you blame some old lady or some old man in your village. But it's just lack of the appropriate strategy to reach the market.
I see. Why is that so? Why do so many SMEs struggle with visibility despite having maybe quality products and all of that? Why do they struggle? Is it because they are focusing on maybe just production and too little on communication?
I think we can look at it at two broad reasons. One, there are people who don't still believe in the fact that it doesn't matter the quality of your goods and services. If you don't let the market know about it, they will not find you. So we still operate under this terminology of at the pan once I have goods, quality products, quality services, the market will find me. So we will have a group of people who still, I believe, still operate with some level of this concept. And so no real effort are made to try to expose your products and your services to the market. And the second category would be people who really want to do that, but who are focused mainly on the traditional way of promoting their goods and services, advertising being the most obvious one. So I suspect that, or I think that these are two main ways why we still suffer with visibility with SME goods and services.
I see. Very, very interesting. So, but the at the part the Tony home narrative, does it ever work? Maybe to an extent or something.
Say that again.
I'm asking that you talk about the at the part the Tony home, that narrative where people think that they have good or quality products or services because of that the things will sell themselves. I'm asking if it ever works to an extent or something.
Yes, it works when people come in and experience the product or the service. Then because of the quality, they will come back again.
Right.
But the first trial becomes a problem because I don't even know it exists. I don't even know you have this product there. How do I even come for it? But if I do come for it, now that I've experienced the quality of the goods and the services, yes, I would like to come back if my experiences were good. So the challenge normally is, how do you get the person to try the product or the service for the first time? And that's why the Panatone home becomes not the right approach to adopt. But once you get the people coming into the premises or buying your products or services online, whichever way you are distributing your goods and services, then the department will then hold them to want to come back to it because the quality of the product is good.
But what is the effect of that mindset?
The effect of that mindset is that you limit your possibilities. The potential that you would have had is severely limited because it's only limited to those who somehow get to know about your product. So as opposed to getting the relevant target audience, understanding and knowing your product exists and trying to convince them to come and buy the product, you are limiting yourself to people who somehow get to know from family and friends. Yes, that's a good way, but that limits the potential. So it takes a long while for you to be able to actually grow. And remember, we are in a very competitive world. And as a business, you have to run so fast in order to maintain your current position. And so as you are dilly-dallying with your products and services, a competitor is watching you, a competitor is coming in, it takes the market by storm, then you're out of business and you're wondering what happened.
I see, Prof. Some people actually have the mindset of the fact that, okay, so with what you're saying, let me first of all put my product in front of everybody at least once. And then because they've seen me now, I can go and rest and begin to, and then they will come back to the whole narrative about the Adipaneton, the whole thing. How important is consistency in marketing?
Consistency is the name of the game. So it is not enough to just expose your product today and then think that because you exposed it once or you exposed it twice, you attracted a few people to come along. So that then means that you have achieved. No. In fact, if you even watch big organizations, they have products that have been successful for generations and they are still out there making noise in quotes. They are still out there promoting those products and services, despite the success, the stability, the tradition that they have created around those products. So that clearly tells you that you can't just do some promotion today and decide that you are okay with it. No, it has to be consistent. I think I find inspiration from the Bible that says, "Pray without ceasing."
Right.
Yes. So promote your products without ceasing.
I like that, Prof. I like that. Okay. Now, so let's talk about some of the mistakes that people make. I mean, apart from the inconsistency, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see SMEs make in terms of marketing specifically?
Okay. So one of the biggest mistakes SMEs make is that they don't clearly define who their target market is. So you see, if you don't know who your target market really are, how do you determine their characteristics? How do you determine what they want and what they don't want? How do you even determine if, assuming you had money, you want to put them into media, like your radio station? How would you even determine whether my target market listens to ZFM or not? You don't even know their media consumption habits, and yet you want to reach them. You don't know whether they are on TikTok or not, and you want to reach them on TikTok. So you see, you just misplace all your priorities. You misplace your attempt to communicate and promote your goods and your services. So the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes, is that you don't really know who your target customers are. That's one. And the second one is that follows on the fact that because of that, you don't also know your target audience. Now, there's a difference between the audience and the target market. The market are those who want to demand your products, but the audience are bigger. The audience include both those who want to demand your products and those who influence those who demand your products, even though they themselves will not demand it. So you need to understand your core target market. You need to understand the audience, and then that's where you can then know that in promoting my product, this is what they expect to hear. This is how they consume their media, and so this is where I can reach them. Until you do that, you just be wasting your money. You've got to know who they are.
I see.
Then also, let me just add one more.
Okay, sure. Go ahead, Prof.
Another mistake is the fact that sometimes in trying to promote these goods and services, we're looking at what others are doing, and maybe you want to look good. So you go on and use this method to try to promote your product. And that method is something you cannot sustain. So you start 1, 2, 3 weeks, you're out of cash. Then you are back to square one, as we say in Ghana. The effect gets dissipated in no time. And then in no time, they are forgotten about you. That's also a big mistake that I think some of our SMEs are doing.
Prof, what should actually determine the approach then? I mean, you are saying that they don't have to just look at what other people are doing. What should actually determine how a company or a business does their marketing?
First of all, you would need to understand the array of possibilities that is open to you.
Mm.
We have already discussed advertising, but that's just one of it. There are other ways that you can promote your product. So you need to take a comprehensive look at all these items that you can use to promote your product. And based on that, you can then determine which one would best suit the characteristics of my market. That is one. And that I can afford, that it can be consistent, and that will be meaningful to my target people.
Mm.
So you need to determine the array of potential that you can use to communicate your products.
Mm. I see. One of the things that I've seen a lot of people do, which I want you to comment on, is that some people post only or they put out their things when the sales are low. What do you have to say to such people?
That's interesting. You see, when you do that, what you are actually telling yourself is that you understand that promoting the product can bring you sales.
Mm.
So the question is, so why are you waiting till it is down before you do that? Is there some amount of money you don't want to make?
Mm.
So it means that for promotion, it should be consistent, so that you can get the best sales turnover that you can possibly get. So it shouldn't be only when things are going down. Don't allow things to go down. In fact, when you're even cruising at the top in the market, you still need to maintain it.
Yeah.
Because you see, even if you're a leader in the segment, you should understand that there are people who are also bidding to overtake you and become leaders.
Mm.
And the only way they can beat you is to steal the market from you. And so when you go a bit quiet, that's where you begin to lose some people.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter the state in which you are. You should consistently promote your product using a variety of tools.
Mm.
Not only when your business is running down. No, even when your business is the leader in the market. And you see, SMBs can take inspiration from the more established big organizations, international organizations, who are consistently promoting themselves, promoting their products and services through various means. They have achieved, some of them have dominated the market for decades, and yet they are not slacking, because they know that in this competitive environment, you take your legs off the pedal and you're overtaking.
Wow. All right, Prof, please hold on for me. Let me just announce the lines. We're going to get into other parts of the conversation. We'll talk about the digital platforms and all of that very, very soon. But let me just announce the lines. In case you're listening to us or you just tuned in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nee Trebi Hammond. And this morning, we're talking about advertising for SMEs without breaking their backs or breaking their budgets. And we're looking at some of the ways that they can do that. My guest is Professor Brimer from the University of Ghana Business School, and he is helping us understand exactly some of the realities that SMEs actually encounter when it comes to marketing. And he's speaking about some of the mistakes that a lot of SMEs make. We're going to talk about some other things shortly, but you can join the conversation by sending us a WhatsApp on 0544 32 1019 0544 1019, and then I give you the opportunity. I'll read your messages for you. Also, you can drop a comment under our live stream. We are streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please feel free to drop a comment there and I'll read them for you as well. You can also call us if you want to share your thoughts with us this morning on 030 3956641 030395661, and then I give you the opportunity to ask your questions or make your comments this morning. Prof, now let's talk about digital platforms or the digital world really. Now, today almost every SME is on social media in one way or the other. You see people just, even some people don't even have physical stores or anything. They just jump on, go to social media and start putting their stuff there. But the question is, are they using it strategically or just casually? I don't know whether you have any data on that to speak to.
I don't have data, but I've observed, and I think I can make some comments
Okay.
on that. You see, the digital platforms are a great space for you to promote your products and services. And for a certain generational group, that is their playground. And so, if the customers you are targeting are within a certain generational group age, then you know that you find them on the digital platforms. So if that is where your group is, and you bring in your communication, your products and service on the platform, perfect. It means you find them and they'll find you. But if your target group are not, or mostly are not on the medias, on the digital platforms, and you are still there, and that is your main way of promoting your product, you'll miss out. So the best is to determine on these digital platforms the nature of my products, the nature of my services. Is my customers and potential customers, are they within the space? If they are, it's a good way to go because it's not that expensive.
I see. But what separates a business that is very effective when it comes to social media marketing from somebody who is just randomly posting? What separates the two of them?
You see, if you pick, okay, so in marketing generally, it means you need to always target specific groups. That is where you get to know what makes this particular group work. So we have a terminology we call segmentation. That means you want to divide your market according to a certain criteria or a criterion that is relevant to the group that you are dealing with. So, for example, if you have your target market and you think that what is important to this particular target market is that they prefer products that are quite high in price because they relate price to quality, then it means that for this group, high price is a defining character for they demanding your product. And yet you have a second group who think that a good product give me the value I am looking for, but at a lower price. Now, if you bind these two groups together, you lose out. Because if you give them low price, those who are looking at price as a sign of quality will think your products are no good. They'll leave you.
Right.
Those who are looking at your price must be low. That's where they're coming in. They will leave you. So it means that you have to understand who they are and what they need, and segment them or divide them or categorize them into these different two groups. And for each group, you design your product and your service and communicate it in a way that would meet their needs. Then you'll be effective. But the person who hasn't understood the market or who has this division within the market and hasn't been able to effectively them means that to go there with one communication, you get some and you lose the rest. Market matter and effectiveness.
All right. So very, very important. That's also need to be a platform to be effective.
Not necessarily. Not the thing is that if you are your you maybe my people are much more group or that group. So them so to say need. So it means that you identify where your people are and that's where you want to be. You follow them. Yeah. Wherever they want to be, that's where you are. So if you have your customers in every platform, yeah, then you got to be in every platform. Else you leave some of them out. So it comes back to you understanding the needs of the customers. And let me just add one more thing about effectiveness. You see, distribution is very, very critical. Distribution in the sense that How do I have access to the product or the service that you are telling me about? So you have communicated to me, yes, I've understood it, I'm convinced, I want it. How do I get it? Access. How do I get it? Are you, we those who are a bit older, we know that some years ago in the banking sector, if you didn't get to the bank by 2 p.m., that ended it until the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
And that started extending. Then we started having ATMs, then started having online banking. And now banking is now 24/7.
Yeah.
You can take money from anywhere. So that is what I mean by access. So if I want your service or your products, and it's not easy for me to get access to them, even though I want it, you lose me eventually. So it is one of the things that we need to watch out. We need to watch out as businesses. It's not just about communicating appropriately to you and making sure you are where you're supposed to be, but also making sure that if you want the product, you get it when you want it.
And you want it, right?
Yes.
So, Prof, for a business with very limited resources, where should they focus first? Should they do Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Which of the platforms, or even radio? Where should they focus first?
So the challenge is that pick an SME, SME. Who are your potential customers? And your potential customers, are they mostly on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, for example? So I'm assuming that most of those who are on YouTube, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook. So let's assume that these are the three places that most of your potential customers are likely to be.
Yeah.
It means that is the first place to focus on. That's where you have to put a lot of your effort, because that's where you will reach them. If that person comes to ZFM and says, give me this radio package, and the people don't listen to radio, you run effective packages for them, give them some discount, they run for a whole year, but just a small percentage of the people target audience have heard.
Right.
Unless, for example, ZFM through their social media handles escalates these communications into those handles, then they will get to see. So the idea is, where are they likely to be found? Follow them there.
That's the first question you have to ask yourself.
Yes, that's the first question you have to ask yourself. Where are they? So, for example, take a look at our sisters who sell on their heads, Pampamu store, as I call them.
Yeah.
Watch, when there's a gathering somewhere, they determine what they may need. And this garden may need banana and ganos. They follow you there. When that gathering disperses, tomorrow they're not going to pass there again, because they know there's nobody there again.
Yeah, that's true.
So they are following the market. So the question normally to ask as a business is, who are they and where are they?
Well, repeat that. Repeat the last thing you said. Kindly.
Say it again.
I said, kindly repeat the last thing you said.
Where are they and who are they?
Okay.
Who are your customers and where are those customers found?
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Very important. We're still talking about some of the easiest ways that, or the simplest ways that businesses can market without breaking their backs. Now, another important phrase we often hear is content is king. And I know, Prof, you've heard that a lot of times.
Yes.
What kinds of content actually helps SMEs grow? Is it educational content? Is it entertaining content, customer testimonials, or something? Which of them?
It's actually a combination.
Okay.
Now, so first of all, the nature of your product. If the product or the service you're offering is such that people need to understand, then you need education. If people need to understand what is it that you're offering, then they need to be educated. Because if you come and I don't understand what they are doing, and you put a celebrity behind it whom I respect, and I still don't understand what product you are selling or what services it is, my potential, the potential of conversion from interest to pitches will be low. So that's the starting point. Is it a service that people need to understand? Then your content must be educative.
Okay.
If it is something that people already understand because there are similar products around, then you need to convince them. I mean, so you need to convince that yours is the best to come for because they could get similar competitive products. So why yours? So that is where you move from education to trying to convince them. That is where you try to put celebrities around them to make it interesting. So people will come in. And so the nature of the product is critical. Now, if it is a durable asset, people don't need just entertainment. No, they need concrete information. You can't sell me you are selling houses, for example, and all I see in your communication is entertainment. No, I need more than that. I need to be convinced that if I come through you, my money will not be squandered. If I come through you, the designs I want will be what will be done, and the quality will be the quality that I expect. So the method you should use for your content is heavily dependent on the nature of the product that you're offering.
So a typical example, I want us to try to break it down a bit better. So let's say, Prof, let's say you run a training institute. I mean, you are the University of Ghana Business School. There's a new product that is coming up or a new course that you are introducing, maybe in AI and marketing or something. How should the person go about it?
Okay, so if we are going to introduce a product like that, it means that people want to understand what is the content of the product you are coming to give us. Maybe we are launching a new one called digital marketing, a full degree on a digital marketing. So if you're offering me a master's program in digital marketing, what is the content?
Okay.
And after I've gone through the course, what skills and competencies would I have achieved? So people want to know that. People also want to know, where is it coming from? Is it coming from an institution that we can trust? So it means that in our communication, we let you know that this is from University of Ghana and it's from the premier university, the premier business school. That's it, to let you know that it is coming from a source that you can trust where it is coming from. Number two, now you trust this is the competencies and these are the skills you'll be coming out with when you go in for the program. Right. So you see, you are communicating and educating them about what it is that they should be expecting to see. So you realize that if you just get up there and create a content which is all about entertainment, and you look at it wondering, have these guys gone nuts?
I get it. Yeah. All right. Prof, let's talk about storytelling as well. I know that that's one of the modern things that people are doing today. How important is that, especially in modern advertising? Storytelling.
Storytelling is a very critical tool, and it spans a lot of businesses. In fact, what we say is that tourism is all about storytelling. If you get up today and you get to Elmina Castle, what are you doing? It's storytelling. The guys have to be telling you stories.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what happened, this is the gate, they did this, gate of no return, that. It's storytelling. So you realize that the storytelling is actually the product you are buying. So storytelling in marketing communication or in promotion is important because, you see, everything you say has a meaning, one, has implication. And the way you say it is what conveys the meaning and conveys the implication. And so in storytelling or in promotion, the way you are communicating, you are telling a story. What is it about the product that you want me to know? You are telling me a story.
Yeah.
What benefits is it that I'm likely to gain? You are telling me a story. But those stories must be believable. That's the challenge. And that's the challenge with advertising per se. Because in advertising, people see as you've acted it out. You've taken 3 shots, 10 shots, and choosing the best one. You've taken 10 lines here and choosing the best one.
Right.
So people watching you know that you're going to use on a whole day's routine to come out with this 45-second advert on television. So the question is, what you are telling me, is it really true? So that is the challenge that advertising has. But you are still telling the story.
Okay.
And so in every advertising, every communication effort, you must make sure that you get the story right. And the story must be believable. If it's not believable, you are just wasting your money.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Prof, maybe some other things before we go, but just let me announce the lines once again. If you just tune in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM, and we're talking about advertising without spending too much, And my guest is Professor Brima from the University of Ghana Business School. And you are free to join the conversation by sending us a WhatsApp on 0544 321019, 0544 321019. Or you can also call us on 030395661, 030395661, and then we give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube. You can also head there and drop a comment under the live stream, and we'll read them for you. All right, Prof, let's continue the conversation. And I want us to talk about influencer marketing. I see that is one of the approaches that are actually growing rapidly here in this country. Is it overrated or genuinely effective?
It is effective. It is effective because the whole concept of influencer marketing sits on the fact that a particular personality has a following.
Okay.
And so it means that whatever this particular personality suggests, comments the person makes, things he recommends or rejects, his followers or her followers get influenced. That's the main concept.
Okay.
So it means that if you have 1 million following and I use you to communicate a product, it means I am targeting the 1 million people who are following you. And the concept is that because you influence them, they are more likely to adopt my product. And that's why it's just called influencer. So this person has an influence, we tap into his influence, and then he carries our products along. So in that case, it's effective. But you see, there's a certain level that you fail to be effective if you begin to take on products and services where you make claims that cannot be substantiated. You make claims, and the first person uses it and it doesn't stand up. That person is going to communicate that it didn't work out. So it is critical that as a business owner, if you are using influencer marketing, make sure that you make the claims such that those claims, when people begin to use the service or the product, those claims would be realized in the patronage of those goods and services. Else, you get a first buyer and you not get the repeat purchase.
Wow. You get a first buyer and not get a repeated purchase, which, I mean, it should be the goal of any business person, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's your aim, to get a repeat purchase and hopefully make them loyal customers.
I see. Prof, is it possible for SMEs to use influencers without spending too much or huge money? Is it possible?
Yes, it is.
And
it
how
is
can
possible,
they go about it?
But there's a caveat. You see, depending on the following of a particular influencer, they will give you certain charges. So the question really is, which influencer are you going for? What's the following the person has? And what are the person's terms from the person's managers look like?
Okay.
That's where the challenge is. Now, those with big following are expensive. Unfortunately, they are. Because they're also into a business. They are a business. So it's expensive. Those that are not expensive may have a small following. But if this person who has a small following, his followers are actually the kind of people I am looking for within my local market area, then that is good for me. So maybe this person has just about some 10,000 followers within Ghana. and the people who are following this guy are actually the kind of people that I'm targeting. That's good for me. So it is really a balance between how much you have and what level of exposure that you want to give to the product. And that's what will make you decide which influencer you should contact, because they have different levels of followers.
Okay.
Can you imagine if an SME in Ghana wants Oprah Winfrey? You might work the whole of your life and not be able to get one endorsement.
Right.
Pay for one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. If we want to spend time on influencer marketing, then we might have to be talking about even identifying them and all of that. But because of our time, we will touch on the surface of some other things and then we can wrap up. Another thing is traditional media versus digital media. I want to ask you, I know that some people have different opinions on that, but is traditional media advertising becoming inaccessible to SMEs because of cost?
Yes, I think cost is the major issue.
Okay.
Because despite all the theories we have, traditional media promotion is still very relevant, is still key. But the cost for our SMEs is prohibitive. That's the challenge. I mean, just take a look at how much you may have to pay for half a page in a popular, have a page advertisement in a popular national newspaper. I mean, a lot of SMEs aren't able to afford that. So they have to go through other ways. But some of those other ways are very good as well. For example, why can an SME do a publicity? So, for example, if I have a new product, I am coming to lunch. Why don't I invite the media into my lunch? Because once I invite the media into the lunch, the media will carry it as a news item. And I'm practically paying nothing for it. So ZFM will come and carry. National state media will carry on radio, television. They may even appear on their internet feed and what have you. So within that period, I'll have a lot of exposure for free, basically. Or I'm not launching, it's already a product in existence. I want to give it a certain shot. Why don't I get them and organize maybe a cleanup campaign somewhere? Once I organize the cleanup campaign, I can attract the ministry, I can attract the media, and then in that case, my product, my company will be exposed, basically for almost nothing, apart from maybe the cost of the brooms we have bought and maybe the cost of some kinky and fish for those who participated to clean. So there are various strategies that you can adapt to expose your products without it being really that expensive. And those ways of exposing the products are actually known and literature to be very effective and very believable. Because they see as a corporate, socially responsible organization.
Right.
So they accept you. And once the community accepts you, it's one step to buying your products.
Well, if you are giving all our tips to our audience, they will not come to us for advertising. But I mean, Prof, just make a case for radio as well before we go. Just make a case for radio.
Okay, so radio is interesting because radio is far reaching. Far reaching.
Right.
Everybody picks his, you go to a small village and he picks his cassava phone or yam phone and he has a radio on it. He listens to radio.
Yeah.
So the penetration of radio in Ghana is very deep. And within certain communities, when they say, oh, they said on radio, it means it must be true. Yeah, so it carries that weight. And radio is a very good way of communicating the product because you can, you see, it's not just about getting, let's say, ZFM to run, let's say, a certain copy as presented and they are running it. No. You could actually have discussions on radio. Where you can educate the public. You can come and take a link. You can come and sponsor a program on a radio station and they'll give you, as I've been saying, they'll give you a package. And that package would actually enable you to educate your people a lot more. And remember, in radio, once you've done a discussion today, it doesn't die today. The impact of it continues. So, and radio is fortunately cheaper than television. So even though we say traditional media is expensive, radio is relatively far cheaper than television. And yet in radio, you can have all sorts of packages, not just package advertisement for people to communicate, but discussions, educations, and what have you can actually help.
Prof, thank you. We are grateful. We are grateful unto you, Prof. Maybe finally, so maybe there's an entrepreneur who's listening to us right now who feels invisible, or maybe overwhelmed. What is the first practical thing they should start doing this week to improve visibility without spending too much? What do you think they should be doing?
Several things. If you think your potential customers are online, which I think they would be, then the first is get online. Get online means get a website, get an Instagram page, get a WhatsApp page, get Facebook, get name them. Just get into them, so that you then have media visibility.
Right.
That really helps. That really helps. And in your business area, premises, if it is a physical business, make sure that your signages are properly put up. That also helps. So I would say that should be the first step that struggling business should take.
Okay. Prof, I'm really grateful for your time, and thanks so much for sharing your insights with us this morning. Hopefully we get to speak again sometime soon.
All right. It's my pleasure. And thanks for having me again.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, Professor Stephen Brimer is an associate professor of marketing at the University of Ghana Business School. And he joined us this morning talking about advertising on a budget, how SMEs can grow without without huge marketing spending. And he's giving a lot of tips. If you miss any part of the conversation, you can head straight to our YouTube channel. We are on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please head there and you get to play back all the conversations. So if you're a business owner or you know any business owner, please feel free to send this link to them so that they can actually go and experience exactly what we've talked about this morning. They can apply them to their businesses and then their business can grow. Here at ZFM, we are very much concerned about your business and want to see your business do well. And that is why we focus on business, lifestyle, and leisure. And so that is why we had this conversation this morning. We don't want you to feel like marketing or struggle spending so much on that. Look at all the tips that Prof has shared and apply them to your business. We hope that it will affect it positively, and we know that it will. So thank you very much for joining us right here on the Business Breakfast on Z. It's been a fantastic morning, right from 6:15 till now. We will wrap up here now and come back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we bring you another edition of the Business Breakfast on Z. Very interesting conversations coming up tomorrow. So please don't miss it. 6:15 is the time, and I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Nitrebi Hammond. Keep listening to Z10.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And also do follow us on all our socials. On TikTok at Z Multimedia, LinkedIn at Z Multimedia, YouTube at ZTV, IDX, and Facebook at ZFMGH.